and welcome back to the workshop. Hope you're all well, and thank you very much for coming over and joining us for another video. On this video, I'm going to be turning some resin. This is a piece that Mark sent me from Shop Dog Workshop. He sent me this well over a year or so ago now. He was one of our special guest airworms. I think it was beginning of last year, and he sent me this through to do. This is the first chance I've actually had a chance to jump onto it, so I thought it was about time that I actually did it and see what we can get out of it. As you can see inside, it's got a piece of burl wood in it, and he's actually micro pounded the burl wood to give it some nice texture and look. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to come out. So let's get over to the lathe, see what happens. I'm going to try and keep as much as the wood as I can keep, and obviously this will be our bottom. So I'm just going to put a mortise in the bottom of this, so I don't want to lose any of this feature in the bottom here. So I'm going to try and keep the minimum amount of disruption on the bottom of that, and then just gently shape it into a bowl. It perhaps won't be as curved as I normally do, because I don't want to lose all that feature on the resin there. So we'll see what we get. So let's get over to the lathe and see what we get out of it. So I'll meet you guys over at the lathe. Right, so here we are over the lathe. Got the piece on, holding it on with a 52mm force and a bit, as I mostly do. So it's a little bit out of round, so what we're going to do is just spend a little bit of time getting around. Some nice slow passes. We've got a bit there, it looks like where it's been on the bandsaw. So I might just get a screwdriver in there and break that bit off, because we don't want that coming off and smacking us in the face as we're turning. So I'm just going to break that off, get a screwdriver in and try and break that off. Just like that. So we've got no bits that can come off and damage us. So what I'm going to do, like I say, just spend a bit of time just rounding it up, getting it nice and round before we concentrate on our shape. Then we'll know exactly what we got. I've got a feeling, but the time we get to the round, we're going to be down to some of the wood. So we'll just see what happens. So what I'm going to be using is a nice, going on here, that's better, is a nice sharp 1/2-inch bowl gouge, basically just to get rid of some of this overburden. So we're going to start the lathe off slow. I'm just going to bring it up just so we get a bit of speed. Don't want too much. Just like so, just going to bring it to nice. And it's perhaps going to give it some chip out. But once we get it around, we can get rid of that chip out. Our center, and we're going to do our 26mm mark for our mortise. So we'll put our mortise in there first. So now we can start getting some shape. So I've got the shape I want. I just need to get rid of some of this chipping out now. So I'm going to use a negative reg scraper on that, just to see if we can get rid of some of that chip out. I would like to speed up a little bit, but because of the lump of wood in it, it's a little bit out of balance. So hopefully using the negative reg scraper, I'll just get rid of that tear out for us. Right, saw the tear out. Got a bit of a feature there where obviously there's a void in there. So I've got two options. I can either fill it with CA glue and polish it out, which I think is what I'm going to do. Got another little bit there. So blow all the crud out of there. And what I'm going to fill it in with brown CA glue. So hopefully what that'll do is fill it up and then hold it nice and tight. So I'm going to use medium thick, because obviously there's a big gap in there. We're going to just put our layers in, and then we're just going to spray it just to activate it, because if not it's going to run out the bottom. So let it soak down.
Many hours later.
So I put super glue in there, just going to let it dry off a little bit, and then we'll just re-turn it off. I did start to turn off with the scraper, but it was still a little bit wet underneath and a bit flew out. So we're just going to give it a chance to dry, turn that off, and then we'll get it sanded up to 400 grit. Normally on resin we don't put sand and sealer on it, but because we've got timber in it, we're going to, just to seal that wood. So I'm hoping that I can get a nice finish on that wood to really enhance the different swirl parts of the burl. So I really want to try and enhance that as much as I can. Hence why I'm going to spend a bit of time sanding it back, getting a nice finish, and then just gently buffing and polishing it up so we get a nice finish on it all. Sanded up to 600 grit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a coat of sand and sealer over the top of the wood, just to seal that wood. Like I say, normally if we was just doing resin, we wouldn't put a sand and sealer over it, but because we've got that wood in it, we need to put a coat of sand and sealer over the top of that, just to seal that wood. Look at that. Because of that reason, we want it to pop like that. That's a stunning piece of wood. Absolutely stunning. So we're going to give it a nice couple of generous coats of sand and sealer, because like I said, we want to be able to seal that nicely to stop any muck getting into it, and also to enhance it and bring out the natural effect of it. That is a beautiful bit of wood. Again, we're just going to cross sand it just to get any of those radial sander marks out of it. And like I said before, we're not worried about the wood, it's the resin, because it's translucent. You'll see every little mark on it. Right, so I'm not actually going to put no finish on that, because I'm going to buff that up on the buffing wheel at the end. So all I'm going to do is just blow out all the Yorkshire grit, all the little nooks and crannies.
I can't believe that you came into my life. made me feel again. Now it's my turn. You say you've always been a little bit shy, but I can put an end to your fears. Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed. DJ, take it away. Tonight is all for you and me. So baby, spin and let the music begin. I know you feel it.
Hello.
within. So go ahead and just spin. Just spin for me. Won't you spin? Don't let the doubt in you win. I know you feel it within. So go ahead and just spin. Just spin for me.
Why don't you tell me I'm covering the camera? You should be shouting out saying the camera's covered, Steve. Right, so just need to take a little bit out of that corner. The depth is about right. So we just need to take a little bit out of this corner here.
Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed. DJ, take it away. Tonight is all for you and me. So baby, spin and let the music begin. I know you feel it within. So go ahead and just spin.
It's got a little bit of a hump in there, but I can't seem to get rid of it. So we're going to see if we can sand it out. But other than that, that's about as far as I want to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power sand that. The reason being is we'll get a smoother, better finish with a power sander than what we will with a radial sander. We'll start off. So I really want to push that sand and sealer in that wood. So we're going to give it a couple of free nice wet coats to get that sand and sealer really into that grain to make that wood pop. Alright, so I'm going to put Hampshire Sheen high gloss wax over this. The reason being is I want that wood to pop to try and bring a nice shine like the resin has. So that's the reason being. Don't worry about getting in the little grooves, we can get rid of that afterwards, but a nice coat needs to be applied. Don't need loads, but obviously enough to cover. Hopefully this is going to bring that wood alive and make it pop. We can always apply more than one coat over it, but we'll see how this comes up and see what happens.
At last, we're clean, we're tidy, no resin everywhere. Everywhere's been hoovered down because there was resin everywhere. But not to worry, it's all tidy now. So the time is now 12:09 on the Sunday, hashtag week. If you haven't seen hashtag week, pop back and check out that video. I'll link it up there, or live, shall I say. So anyway, I've got about 50 minutes left before the live, but I haven't found a bit of wood yet, so I better get this done quick and find a piece. So back to the project. This piece, like I said right at the start, was sent to me by Mark from Shop Dog Woodworks. I'm not sure what wood it is, Mark. If you get to the end, if you know, can you please put in the description or a comment? Sorry, what wood it was, so we know, because it's a stunning piece of wood, absolutely beautiful piece of wood it is. And the thing I like about this is Mark has put purple and pink on the edge of the burl, so it leaves that little bit of a colour contrast along the edge here, and it actually makes this part of the resin look purple but it's not. If you hold it up to light, it's obviously translucent, or clear, should we say. So it actually gives that a special, another little effect, which I really like. I've left this quite thick, about 10mm thick. I don't like to turn resin too thin because always relying on is the joint here to hold it all together. Obviously, the thinner you make it, the less it's got the joint to hold. So I don't like to turn it too thin. I could have really took a little bit more out of the bottom, but I did quite a deep tenon on this. The reason being is because I weren't quite sure how strong this burl wood is, because sometimes burl wood can be a bit soft. So I weren't quite sure whether it has been stabilised or whether it was just put straight in with the resin. I weren't sure. So I've done the tenon a little bit deeper. But it really has turned out nice. Really turned out nice. I'm not sure what resin it is. So again, Mark, if you could leave a comment and tell us what resin it is. That turns really nice, as an epoxy always does. Get some nice ribbons off of it. But the trouble is, because you're going from wood to resin, you're going from soft to hard, you sometimes get some chip out because the gouger try and dig into the wood, but then it hits the hard resin, so therefore it chips. But we got over that with the negative rate scraper. So really nice piece, really nice. I'll stick some photographs up at the end as always. So yeah, thank you very much, Mark, and I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, or I hope I've done it justice, should I say. So thank you very much, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then please smash that like and share button. That is always very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed what you've seen, then please consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, then hit that notification bell, then you'll be notified when I do any more videos or lives. If there's a reason you don't want to subscribe, please leave me a comment and let me know, because I'm always looking to improve the channel to help the content grow within the YouTube community. So it's always nice. It's not always negative feedback, it's critical feedback. It's feedback that we use, that we need, this feedback that we need to let us know how to improve our channel. So if there's something about the channel you don't like, then leave me a comment and let me know. So other than that, guys, thank you very much for coming and joining us. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, speak to you soon, and bye for now.